That's why I am not counting him out as quickly as I am Daniel Jones. Because, I'm not going to say it again. He has accomplished something with them. And I think that's reason enough to keep him, give him a bit of a chance in the NFL. I'm not saying with the Browns, because that ship has sailed. I mean, they traded for Deshaun Watson. They're done. But, for any other team, I feel like people count him out quickly just because he struggled last year. But he also had a lot of injuries, remember? He's still rehabbing his shoulder. But, I think if he were to go to another team, like maybe the Colts, I think he could succeed, I don't see a reason why he wouldn't. And plus, once he goes to another team, he gets an automatic 2 years. Because I don't count people out year 1 in a system. Year 2, if they struggle again, then I have some questions. But year 1, I just let them figure it out, I give them time to figure it out. But, like I did it with Tua, and Tua probably isn't the best quarterback. He probably wouldn't win much anywhere, but, the Dolphins is a team that he can succeed with. So if he just stays there, I think he can win. So, still got a lot to cover here. So the Nets, I believe, are down. Are they playing right now? No, they're not. They're down 2-0. No, 1-0 to the... Yes, they are playing right now, and the Nets are winning. They're down 1-0 to the Celtics. Assuming... And by the way, if they go down 2-0, this is why I think they're going to win tonight. If they go down 2-0, they have a 7% chance of winning the series if they lose tonight. So, if they lose the series, think about the first 3 years with Kyrie and Kevin Durant. First round exit, year 1, in the bubble. Year 2, out in round 2. Semi-successful. And year 3, if they lose this, if they lose a series, year 3, they're out in round 1. And they're getting older. They're in their 30s right now. They're only getting older. And this could be a rough year. If they lose a series, a lot of this hinges on if they lose a series, Because if they don't, a lot of this goes away. Because think about it. For KD and Kyrie, it would be a rough year if they lost a series. Golden State is great without KD right now. If the Celtics win the series in front of Kyrie, after Kyrie left and talked crap about them and flipped off his fans, and, those fans are not going to be they're not going to go any easier on Kyrie tonight. It's going to be intense. When you flip off Boston fans, they're not going to make it. They're not going to go easy on you. But I think Brooklyn's going to win tonight. But I think this is a great game waiting to happen. I think it's going to be close. I don't think anything's going to be a blowout. I don't think Kyrie's going to play that good. I think Kevin Durant is going to go off. And yeah, I just think they're going to win. I think they're going to definitely put up a fight in this series. Because even though it's a 2 versus 7, I think when you stack the rosters together, the Nets are probably in favor when you stack the rosters together. But, yeah. The Celtics, they have, similar to the Raptors, they have a team that isn't great on paper, but they can make it work. Jason Tatum's a great player, promising young star. This year, I'm trying to pull up his stats. This year he averaged 27, he's doing pretty well. But yeah, I think tonight, Brooklyn wins, ties it up. It's going to be a good series. It's going to be a great, that's all I'm going to say. It's going to be a great series. So apparently, the Lakers' job Did they even fire Frank Vogel? I've lost. I'm out of the loop now with all this. I'm losing it. I think he was fired, right? Yeah. Yeah, he was fired. Okay. Anyway, but their job is apparently unattractive to, a lot of coaches, and it's an unattractive place. Even though it's LA, it's an unattractive place for players. Because think about this. Let's just use last night, for example. Ingram dropped 37, and the Pelicans won. Just look at the Lakers' former players this year. Caruso was a great defender. Kuzma dropped 17 points a game. And think about it. The last player the Lakers developed into a star was Kobe. That was the last player they developed into a star. LeBron just came there, and he was already a star. The guys they draft became a star elsewhere. They got 7 losing seasons in 10 years. And in those 10 years, they've had Kobe, who was semi in his prime, and even semi-prime Kobe is still up there. You had LeBron, and you had AD. And you had 7 losing seasons in 10 years. And look what Ingram was able to do. He averaged 18 points with the Lakers at the most. The first year without them, he averaged 24. Great organizations can spot talent and recruit talent to their team. Like the Lakers can do. They got LeBron, but they can also draft and develop talent. The Lakers can't do that. Like the Dodgers can draft and develop their own talent. Everyone has to develop. Everyone struggles at first. The answer is likely not to trade them and to more develop them, I think Ingram could have done well with the Lakers if they gave him a few more years to develop, but they didn't. They got rid of him for AD, and look how that turned out. But this is why players aren't going there, because they ship you off in a year. This team is not going to do well in free agency. That's my prediction. There's no way anything's going to go well for them in free agency this year. Too many things have gone wrong. In the past few years for the Lakers. Alright, so AJ Green said that his chemistry with Kyler wasn't great. Fitzgerald and Green have said things that were taken as a shot towards Kyler. I don't know if what AJ Green said was necessarily a shot towards him. It was their first year in the system, and like I said, I don't give up on them immediately if it was their first year working together. If you struggle in your first year working with someone, you're not going to fire them immediately, are you? No, because they're getting used to it. So I wouldn't expect their chemistry to be the best. But, in year one. But Fitzgerald, that's a more significant one to me. If Fitzgerald is saying something, I'm going to listen, because he doesn't criticize anyone. But when AJ Green says, our relationship might need work, or chemistry might need work, I don't have too much. I'm not thinking too much of it. But I think Fitzgerald said, he said Like, he denied, I think a lot of players deny having feuds with certain, teammates. He said, this isn't factual information. He said he's never had a problem with a teammate in 30 years of competitive sports. But it was Larry Fitzgerald's, what's it called? Yeah, it was Larry Fitzgerald's father, I believe, who said he's, spoiled and never been humbled. But, and this is something that comes up with Aaron Rodgers a lot. Sometimes I defend him, sometimes I don't. There were two teammates that came forward, Greg Jennings and Jermichael Finley. I don't really disregard the Greg Jennings one, because he was just... That was in the year that he was, ripping on every Packer, player or Packers... Anyone in the organization. Anyone associated with the Packers in any way, he was insulting. So I really disregard that. Except, but... Jermichael Finley, someone who, played with Aaron Rodgers for a while. I trust that opinion, I trust when he says he's, self-centered. I'm sure he can be, I don't doubt that. And I don't know about Kyler Murray yet. I'm gonna try to figure more things out before I completely evaluate the situation. So, alright. Let's get some music going, huh? Alright. So, Deebo Samuel, I think he actually requested this trade already, but, he's great, but I don't think I'd be willing to pay him the money he's asking for. Highest paid non-QB. Think about it. Green Bay is probably a great destination for him, but we can't pay him that money. He won't go to a team that is gonna, that's not gonna be able to pay him the money he's asking for. That's why he's requesting a trade from the Niners, because they're not gonna pay him, the money he's asking for. But, he's the problem here, because the Niners are willing to offer him on contract. They're willing to pay him. It's just the amount of money he's asking for, I think, is insane. He's great, and he's probably worth that money, but, I don't think he understands what it's going to do to the rest of the team. Aaron Rodgers has a big contract, and the Packers can't get anyone. That's what happens when you, ask for that much money. You get all the money, but your team doesn't succeed, Alright, so Watson reported to the Browns' voluntary offseason program. Mayfield didn't. I'm not done with him. I'm just gonna make this short and sweet. I'm not done with him. He's still rehabbing his shoulder. I think there's a place for him. Not the Browns, but a different place that he can succeed. So, Jerry West is demanding retraction over the portrayal of him in the new Lakers series winning time. And I've seen a few episodes. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I'm not up to date on it. But it seems great. It seems entertaining. I don't think any less of any of the members of the Lakers. Obviously it's dramatized. It's a reenactment. I feel like a lot of reenactments are always dramatized. And we know, and I think a lot of the things they're portraying, we know of them already. We know Jerry Russ was a little intense, and the show emphasizes that. I doubt he was as intense as they're making him out to be, but, he was definitely intense, and they're emphasizing it. But I get it. It can bother you when people do impressions of you. Because that's pretty much what they're doing, That could bother you. And, I shouldn't be acting like I know anything about this. I wasn't even born, actually, when this Lakers dynasty was going on.